Thanks for the hazelnut latte. It was really nice of you, and I see you put my name on the mug. You're so kind. Thank you. So let's carry on. Glossary of terms. Two more terms to go through in this video. How are you finding these terms? Do you kind of feel? I remember feeling this when I started learning all this. I just kind of felt a bit empowered, kind of learning these terms. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? So let's not rest on our laurels. Let's carry on. Two more in this video. I suspect you've heard of at least one of these, and it's the first one here. It is blockchain. Everybody's talking about the blockchain. It's a real buzzword at the moment. But what actually is the blockchain? Let's quickly define this, because again, I do need you to at least have a rudimentary understanding of this. The blockchain, quite simply, is, if you like, the underlying technology that allows everything we're doing to be possible. So imagine the blockchain to be like a huge database that every single transaction that has ever taken place is documented. And it's immutable as well. That means it can't be altered. So that's really what the blockchain is. Another way to describe it, if you like, is imagine a decentralized, there's that word again. You see, I'm using the words that we're learning as we go along. It's the blockchain's, if you like, a decentralized ledger. Imagine an old-fashioned ledger that your grandfather would kind of make all his notes and all his accounts. It's like that, an old-fashioned ledger from paper version of years ago online, and it records every single digital transaction without the need for a third party, because that's what DeFinance is, isn't it? Remember, no third party needed. It's really kind of the web on steroids, if you like. That's kind of quite a colourful way to think of it. But that's what the blockchain is. It's really the technology that allows everything that we're doing to be possible. And the reason that I want you to know that is because that brings us on to the next glossary of terms that I want you to know. And it's similar: blockchain networks. So now that we understand that blockchain is the term given to the tech that allows what we're going to do to even exist, what I want you to know is that within the blockchain, there are different networks, just like there's different TV channels, on our TV. Now, all the networks essentially do a very similar thing. So really, they're all in competition with one another. And I suspect over time, 10 years from now, there'll be, the main one. That's already happening right now. So imagine, to use another analogy, imagine when any industry starts. Imagine when the motor industry starts, okay? So when Henry T. Ford started, the motor car back at the beginning of the 20th century, you just had Ford, didn't you? Then very quickly you had Mustang, and then Corvette, then BMW, Audi, Toyota, etc., etc., etc. It's the same with the blockchain. There are various different networks. There's one that you may have heard about called the Ethereum network. There's one called the Binance Smart Chain network. There's one called the Avalanche network. Don't worry if you haven't heard of any of these. You don't really need to know anything about them, truth be told, other than the fact that there are various networks. And the reason that I want you to understand that there are various networks is because in week one, we need to do something to choose one particular network that we're going to be using. We'll come, of course, all onto this in week one, because there's one particular network that we need to use. So all you need to understand is that there are various blockchain networks, and blockchain is the underpinning technology that allows all this wonderful magicness and sorcery to happen. So let's summarize. What do we accomplish in this video? Well, we cover what the blockchain is and what the blockchain networks are. What do you do now? Tell us, Mr. Einstein. What do we do now? Oh man, I mean, this is getting really easy, right? There's literally nothing for you to do. I know I keep saying this. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Please post a comment below. Really helps the energy and the engagement. So please do post a comment below. And I hope you're making notes of these terms, because I am going to be testing you as well. More glossary of terms to come up. Hope you're enjoying this. See you in the next video. Yeah, coffee's great as well. Thanks again.